So since the last tour of my lab had so many hits and I didn't even say anything on it, I figured I'd do another one with a few audio comments. So let's start on the left side. I've moved with my lab since then, but the configuration is pretty much the same. I have a few new things. First thing to mention is the Rigol DS1052E, as mentioned on the vlog. Did the hack to the 100 MHz version, works a treat, my most trusty piece in the lab. Next to it, the thing I used before, it's a DSO 2090 USB oscilloscope, 40 MHz bandwidth. The software is pretty much a piece of crap, so I don't use this very much anyway. Next to it, this is my first oscilloscope. I use it pretty much for nostalgic reasons, and an analog scope comes in handy when displaying things like laser shoe figures and stuff like that. Works a treat too. Then up there we see my little shuttle PC configuration and the USB Digimicro USB microscope comes in handy when inspecting solder joints and such. Then over here, up on top, we got two really ancient power supplies. The left one with digital indicators and current limit. The right one is just with an analog meter and no current limit. Under there is a analog function gen with a bandwidth limit of about 300 kilohertz or such. It's actually pretty useless, especially since I bought the Rigol DG1022 arbitrary function generator. Goes up to 20 megahertz and is controlled via my PC. Next to that, I got a Neolab power supply with two independent floating outputs and a 5 volt output. That's what I use most of the time pretty much. Up on top of that is a pretty simple constant current sink, adjustable in a fine mode from 0 to 20 milliamps and in a coarse mode from 0 to about 2 amps. Then next to that are my soldering stations. Down there is a GP desoldering station, comes in handy when desoldering some bigger 0.1 inch headers and stuff. Up there my AirSA digitally controlled soldering station, and on bottom there just a pretty beefy old school unregulated soldering iron. A few other kits I got here. The Milhouse Red Lab USB measurement device, a PIC Kit 2. I bought the PIC Kit 2 since I figured the PIC Kit 3 wouldn't be as great as this one. Seen a lot of criticism about it on the web. Next to it, my trusty Agilent U1253 multimeter, pretty much the measurement standard. I have nothing more accurate here. Next to it, the BK Precision Lcr Meter. I bought this actually because I thought I'd measure series resistance of Elcos with this, but it can't do that, so I pretty much just measure some capacitances and inductances from time to time. Then I got a Logian 16L 16 channel 100 MHz a USB logic analyzer, and Yup, that's about it. See you next time. Bye.